Welcome back to Modern Salon Experience Behind the Scenes. I'm joined again by Michele Pelafas, our partner in the design of this experience. Now, Michele, in a prior segment, we had talked about the value of first impressions. So as we look at the reception and selfie station area of the Modern Salon Experience, tell me about first impressions in the reception area. Talk to me a little bit about technology trends we're seeing at reception, and then finally talk about the rise of social media and activation points and how that's influencing design.
Well, we talked about first impressions being very important to the storefront and how that attracts consumers into the space. But once the consumer, the guest, walks into the environment, that reception area is truly how that guest is going to feel and really sets the tone for how somebody is going to experience that environment. And so some of the trends that we're seeing is, especially because of COVID, we're seeing touchless check-in points. So that's a trend that we're seeing. On the other end of the spectrum, we're still seeing this concierge idea of check-in. So not the big, huge reception desk that we saw years ago, but little concierge stands where there's a greeter that could welcome the guest into the space, show them around, offer them a place to sit. At the same time, we're seeing very little seating areas in the reception areas as well. During COVID, most of the consumers waited outside in their car before their appointments. I think that is going to change a little bit, but at the same time, I really do think we're going to still see less seating in those reception areas.
Interesting. So you think that's a trend that's possibly here to stay?
I
do. Okay. Interesting. Technology, any need for more electrical, Wi-Fi services, things like that, utilities, have those changed?
They have. I think that what we're seeing the most of is these touchless check-in areas, and so it's really setting up the electric in a different way than what we're used to. And for example, here we're seeing just a digital check-in area along the wall, and so wiring that is a little bit different than how we used to wire the traditional reception desk.
So instead of maybe just an electrician, now you have a full AV company that you're partnering with, things like that?
That's correct.
Okay, great. Now, to the selfie station, as we're calling it, the rise of social media, and every stylist needs to have that social media presence. Talk to me about how owners and managers are incorporating that into the design of their salons.
Well, one of the things that we're seeing, and this is a direct result of the rise of social media, of course, but one of the biggest trends is this dynamic design. And so the selfie wall is just an extension of that. So in order to draw attention to the space and to bring awareness to the business, we're seeing these sort of dynamic spaces being built, and that's through architecture and focal point walls and just beautiful overscaled chandeliers and the botanicals on the wall and the swings. So that is an idea of what dynamic design is, and that's all in direct relation to social media and drawing attention. Now, not everybody can afford that level of design in their spaces, and so the social media wall is just a smaller version of that, where of course their guests can take photos, post and share from there, and at the same time draw attention to their business.
Great, really interesting. Thank you.